Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Regular Beer Reviews, where regular doesn't refer to the beers being reviewed, but to the reviewer, myself. I'm Jesse, and today I'm going to be reviewing a beer that I've never had before from a brewery that is pretty new on the scene here in Florida. This is from Argus, and it is their Pegasus IPA. Now, I've never had anything from Argus. Again, they are new here in Florida. And the reason why I got this beer is because there's a whole article about it in ABC's seasonal beer magazine they have called Off Tap, and I was excited to try this when I saw it because I read the article and they make their beers out to be pretty good. Anyway, Beer Advocate gives this a 76, which is just okay, and that's with 75 ratings. Rate Beer gives it a 36 overall with a 7 for the style, so that's really low. And the Bros have not had this beer. The ABV is 5.8%, and it has a year-round availability. Now, I'm just going to read the description that is in the fall. This is the fall edition of Off Tap, and this is ABC's. This is their seasonal beer magazine, and I'm just going to go on ahead and read the description for Pegasus IPA. Right there, it says a prominent to intense hop aroma with a citrusy, floral, and or fruity character derived from American hops. Medium high to very high hop bitterness, although the malt backbone will support the strong hop character and provide the best balance. Now again, the numbers are kind of low. Don't really know what to expect, but hey, I'm just gonna jump into this one and with an open mind and hope for the best, but try to analyze what I see to the best of my ability. So, get this poured. Now, I did notice in the bottle there are a lot of floaties in this beer, a lot of particulates. And again, this is new on the scene here in Florida, so I didn't check the bottle for a freshness date. It's kind of hazy. I'm pretty sure this is a pretty freshly brewed beer, though. Again, they are new on the scene here. A lot of condensation on the bottle there, but anyway, let's get an appearance on this. This is, again, I can see a lot of floaties in this beer, a lot of things floating around, little bits of yeast and malt. Has maybe a nice half finger, maybe pinky size half finger. Slight off-white head, maybe very light beige. It's, again, pretty dark for an IPA. I'd say that's a light brown, slight ruby tinges to it. It is not translucent at all. Very, very hazy. A little mucky, a little murky. Let's go on ahead and get a nose on this. Slight hop aroma I'm picking up there. Kind of citrusy, kind of piney. Smelling a little bit of the darker malt, smelling some toffee, smelling some caramel. Has a pretty good smell to it. Not really complex at all, very simple. I'm getting the malts, I'm getting the hops. It mentions a fruitiness or a floral. It says fruity and or floral, I believe, in the description. Not really picking up on a lot of that. Maybe slightly floral, but any fruits at all, I'd say. Maybe just from the bitter smell, I'd say, and the slight citrusiness, it could be contributed to like a grapefruit, but nothing prominent, nothing really standing out. So let's go on ahead and jump into this one. Very mild for an IPA. Very mild. Not a lot of bitterness. I didn't look up the IBUs on this beer, but I'm guessing they're probably not more than guessing that's probably not more than maybe 60 IBUs. Probably more like 50, 55 or 60. So not very prominent. I mean, it definitely has more of a malt or more of a hop profile than like a pale ale or something, but there's nothing that really stands out as far as the hops go. The malts are sweet, though. I'm liking the malts in this beer. For an IPA, I usually wouldn't say that. I'm going to focus more on the hop character as opposed to the malt profile, but I'm really liking the malts in this beer. Sweet, kind of that caramely toffee malt, a little bit of spice notes in this beer. Almost like a sage thing going on. Tastes kind of like a sage or something. very herbal, maybe a little brown sugar, kind of sweet. Not overly complex at all. As a matter of fact, I'd say this beer is pretty simple. I don't know if I'd go as low as the numbers that were on like Rate Beer and which BA gave it a let's see here, BA gave it a 76, which is just okay, but I mean Rate Beer gave it a 36 overall with a 7 for the style, so that's really low. I'd say I'd probably agree more with Beer Advocate on this one. And I'm not seeing a freshness date on the bottle, but they did just launch here in Florida, unless they, just sent us a bunch of beer that's been sitting around, and the hop profile really diminished. The hops don't stand out, but it doesn't taste spoiled. It definitely doesn't taste bad. It's a good beer. It has a lower ABV, so I think, only 5.8%. When the hop character starts to fade, the beer's going to go bad. This isn't a cellarable beer, but it's an okay beer. It's pretty average. If you see it, pick it up, I'd say, especially if you're down here in Florida. They're new to the state. They just launched. I'm going to give this, there is something enjoyable about it. Like I said, I do like that malt profile. It's kind of sweet. It's caramely. If it wasn't for that, if it was just, I could taste the hops and where that profile's at in this beer, it's not impressive. I would give it a 6, but I like the maltiness to it. I like the kind of caramel toffiness to it. So I'm going to go on ahead and give this beer a 7 out of 10. If you see it, pick it up, especially if you're here in Florida. It's new to the state. They just launched. Go on ahead and pick it up. I haven't tried any of their other beers, but one thing that's pretty cool about Argus is all of their beers have like a horse theme name. Like this is, except they have one called like the Jarrett Weed or something, and it's named after some like football player's son or something. I can't remember. Don't quote me on it. I read the article like a week ago, and I think I had already had 2 or 3 beers at the time when I did. So anyway, this is the Pegasus IPA. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10, just because I like the malt profile. Again, if you see it, pick it up, especially if you're here in Florida. If you're in Chicago, you might think this beer is a little more mediocre than I do, because you've had it more often. But anyway, thanks for watching. Keep watching again for more reviews, and post.